Hi, this is Greg with Walnut Ridge RV. Today we're going to be doing an orientation video on a Sunseeker 3050S. So we'll start over here on the off-door side and start down here at the LP. Now, your LP on these is really simple. All you have is an on and off feature that you'll be turning on whenever you're ready to start using the coach. Most RV dealerships you go to will fill up here into your fill hose, and you also have a level gauge down here that'll tell you the levels in your LP tank. This is the only way to check it on these Sunseekers. So you want to come out here periodically when you're camping. You can check your LP levels. You can pretty much leave it on whenever you're camping. If you want to shut it off when you travel, that's okay, unless you want to run your fridge off gas. You can leave it on too. So you can leave it on or off. Either way, it's not going to hurt anything. See, this door just got a little lock on it, a little thumb latch. Front storage here, we've got a TV inside here. Fairly simple to operate. Just got your on and off. Your remotes are on the inside of the unit. You want to do a channel scan on each TV every time you get to a new area that you're camping in. A nice big open storage down here. Nice thing about the Sunseekers is they have a lot of exterior storage to put all your stuff in. Another one right below here. Now your water heater on this is a standard Atwood electric and gas water heater. They have a switch on the inside, one for electric, one for gas. When you get parked or if you're at your campsite or whatever, what you want to do is hook into your city water connection, which I'll show you on the other side, and you will open up your bypass or your pressure relief valve. Wait till you see water coming out. Once it does, you can go ahead and shut that. Turn on your electric, and after about 30-45 minutes it'll get hot. You can also run it on LP. That takes 10 to 15 minutes to get hot, or you can run them both at the same time just to get a little bit faster recovery rate. You got a 15/16 drain plug down here, so carry that socket and wrench with you, so you can always drain your water heater after you're done. That way the water doesn't get stagnant and old. Always make sure you tighten that up good and tight before you start to fill it. If it is leaking, you might have to pull it out. Get some thread tape if it is leaking, or just try to make sure you get it in there. These do cross thread pretty easy. It doesn't hurt to carry an extra one of these with you. They're just a couple bucks, so always carry one of those with you. Down below here you have a solar panel hookup, so if you want to purchase the optional solar panel to charge your house batteries while you're stationary, you can. You got your furnace exhaust here, which is going to blow out hot air while you're using your furnace. You always want to have protective mud dauber screens over these. That'll help prevent any bugs, mud daubers, bees, ladybugs, stink bugs from getting in there, getting into the furnace and backing the squirrel cage up and things like that. You got a couple 110 outlets here on the outside, and then your refrigerator access here, so you can, not much in here you actually have to do. Every month, if you want, whenever you're doing your maintenance on your camper, you want to pull this out, sweep that out, make sure wasps like to build nests in there and everything, and they don't make covers or anything for these, because the refrigerators have to breathe. So just want to check on that periodically, sweep it out, just to make sure nothing's built nests in there or anything. Just pop back on there. Let's see, from here we have another big storage. Inside here though, you have two things. You have a your water pump, so you can winterize the coach, and you also have your water filter. So right now the unit's in the showroom. We don't have water going to it, but when you do, this will fill up with water. There's a filter on the inside that you'll unscrew this, put the filter down in, and connect it back, and that'll be your water filter. Might carry an extra one of those with you, but they do last a fairly long time. Your direct winterizing hose, so when you go to winterize the RV, it's really easy. You'll just unscrew this cap, stick this hose down into your jug of antifreeze, and then what you want to do is open up your bypass here. So you have one that will block the water coming up like it is right now, and one that opens so it'll suck from this line. And then from there, you'll just go to all your faucets, toilets, sinks, everything. Open up each hot and cold side until you get pink. And then you'll know your coach is fully winterized. Always make sure you bypass your water heater too. I'll show you where that access is on the inside. Another thing you have in here is for the airbags, to fill up your airbags on this particular coach. There's a cap there you can unscrew to hook up a air connector to it. Fresh fill tanks up here on this particular coach. The tank's right here inside the wall, so the fresh fill's up here. So what you want to do is just, if you go into a park or you want some water while you're traveling, you can fill this up before you leave. You just stick a hose down in there until it starts shooting out water. Once it does, you know it's full. You can go ahead and shut it off, turn your water pump on whenever you need it, and then it'll automatically start pulling from that tank, and you'll have an unlimited water supply from there. Another big storage in here. There's nothing else in here you have to mess with, just to pass through storage. It does have these little drains in here just in case we get some water in there for any reason. It's all protected plastic coating in there, so not too much else back here. It does have a hitch, towing anything else you want to tow behind the unit. Does have a backup camera and side cameras on the front that'll automatically turn on whenever you turn your turn signals on or you go into reverse. We'll go ahead and go around this way. There's nothing else on the outside, the other side besides storages. Head on in. Now I'll stop right here and show you this. The panel, when you first walk in, you have a few things. You have a battery disconnect first off, so whenever you're done camping or you're not plugged in, if you want to preserve your batteries, your house batteries, as long as possible, just flip that off. You have your awning extend and retract. Super simple. Just hold it until it comes all the way out, or as far out as you can get it. Once it's out, you're free to camp, do whatever you need, and then when you're done, just go ahead and hold it back in until it comes in and it snugs up against the unit. Once it does that, then you're good to take off. Always make sure you run that in before you take off. Got motion lights here. You have a couple other switches for your lights on the inside, some awning lights and a few other lights. You have your leveling system. We have several videos on the LCI leveling system. This one's just like any other one. It operates the exact same way. Furnace exhaust vent here. And then moving up top, you have your main control panel, which has your generator start and stop prime. We'll do a separate video on that, show you how the generator runs on these Sunseekers. You also have your tank leveling system. Gray is your kitchen sink, bathroom sink, shower. Black is your toilet. Fresh is the tank that's real high up there I told you about earlier. And then you have your battery level also. And this also has your LP gauge, so you can kind of get an idea of where your LP tanks are at, or your LP tank is at. You can see this one's empty. We have your electric and gas for your water heater. Like I said before, it's simple as flipping the switch on, waiting for it to light. Water pump, if you do want to use the fresh tank, and this particular one comes with the Arctic pack, so this does have a tank heaters on the gray, black, and fresh tanks underneath, so it'll help if you do get caught out in a colder where it's dropped below 32 degrees. You can turn that on to keep your tanks from freezing up. You have your living room, kitchen lights, your slide room in and out. It's really simple. And then you have some other lights right here for your by the driver's side. Down below we have a couple outlets. We also have a carbon monoxide and propane gas leak detector here. That's hardwired to the battery itself, so you don't have to worry about batteries. Only thing you'll have to make sure is that the battery disconnect is on. Should see a flashing green light, we know all's good, but if you do hear it beep or a red light go on, then you might want to check your LP, shut that off, and if it still keeps going after you let the coach air out, you might want to have it looked at. For the most part, you don't see a lot of LP leaks in these coaches. Got your microwave up here, standard just like any home microwave, 1.3 cubic cuts, nice large microwave. You got your light, fan and light underneath your stove for exhaust. That'll exhaust to the outside of the coach. And you have your stove up here. Nice Furrion stoves. Got an automatic igniter here. Of course, we're out of LP, so they just turn to the flame. Flip it a few clicks until it lights, and then from there you can choose the height of the flame you want. Same with the stove. It lights the same way. You just turn it to the flame, hold that button in, let some gas prime, and then go ahead and flip it a few times. If the gas has been off for a long time, or it's your first time using the coach after a while, you'll have to click it quite a few times to get it to run. Refrigerator. That's a nice standard Dometic auto, electric and gas refrigerator. So basically it'll run on and off, and you have auto and gas buttons. So on and off's fairly self-explanatory, but your auto and gas buttons, what they'll do is, I leave it in the auto mode at all times, and when it's in auto, it'll always run off the electric first if it's there. If it's not, and you turn it on, say if we're not plugged in, it's going to automatically try to find gas. So it'll light off gas if the LP tanks are on. So say you're plugged in at a campsite, somebody walks by, knocks out your power cord, kicks it from the, or something happens, a breaker blows, it'll automatically start to light on gas. You can hear it starting to light right now because we're not plugged in. Go ahead and shut that off for now. Other than that, these do take about 6 to 8 hours to get fully cold, so you do want to let them run. Don't open them all the time, just to check them. So don't check them every hour and see if they're cold. Just let them cool down, and give them the time that they need, and they'll get cold for you. Down here we have our breakers for our 110 side and fuses on the bottom. You have a bunch of standard 15 amp double blade fuses at the bottom, and then your breakers, just like you're at home. So they're all labeled here: microwave, reefer, GFI, and converter, and AC. And then all your fuses are the same for your lights and slide out and things like that. Back here you have a GFI reset. So any of the outlets that are near water, the ones over in the kitchen, these are all ran to this GFI itself. So if one's ever not working, you want to come over here and make sure that you don't see the red light and that the GFI is tripped. If it does, simple, you just push the reset button, push it back in until the light goes off, and everything should start to run again. That could happen if you try to run too much at once on the 110 side. Light switch there. Let's see. This one's got the separate bath or toilet and shower. Toilet works just like any other Dometic toilet. Just barely push on it to fill it up with water. Once you're done, push it all the way down, and that'll open it up to flush. One big thing to remember is always to lock your doors as you leave when you're traveling, to make sure these doors don't go bouncing around. 2 switches on the wall, one's for a light, one's for your fan up top. Go ahead and open that up. Nice exhaust fan. It also has a switch on the fan, so if you want to shut it off, as kids, they like to push buttons, you can shut it off at the taller switch here. Light switch on the wall. Then you have your thermostat. This is a little bit different thermostat than what most people are used to if they've owned a camper before. So it's not your standard Coleman Dometic thermostat. But it works pretty much the same. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just got your modes on the side. You got cool, dry, heat, and fan. And then you have your temperature settings. So you'll want to, or your fan settings. You got high, medium, and low. When you run the air conditioner, I always like to leave it in high mode. That way it's running as fast as it can, and they don't have a chance to freeze up. But when you're in just the fan mode, you can run it on medium or low if you'd like. Temperature setting, change it from 60 up to 80, 90, I believe. And then you have a timer also. Furnace, and you also have sleep buttons, which your manuals will tell you exactly how these work. Also has a lockout on it too, so kids, once again, won't be in here touching. TVs back here work the exact same way as I said before. You'll want to do a channel scan on each TV as you get to a new spot. Other than that, there's nothing else back here but a lot of storage. Under bed storage, of course. Head back this way. We'll go right up here to the driver's area, and there's not too much else to go over, except for your radio, which is a fairly simple to work. You got different zones for the sound, which is controlled right here. Zone A, Zone B. So you can choose inside speakers, Zone A, or outside speakers, Zone B. DVD player also. It'll hook up to the TV out here, not out into the other TVs. It's got Bluetooth, auxiliary, USB, so you can have multimedia player. It's everything you need. What else do we have? See, of course, lots of bed areas in here. This one breaks down to a bed. This one has a bed. The dash, there's not a lot. It's just like driving a regular vehicle. You have a backup camera, like I said, side and backup cameras. But everything else is just the same Ford chassis. Air conditioner. And, let's see. Yeah, that's really about it in these units. Sunseekers are small. They're packed with a lot of features. This does have a shade up here. You want to be watch out for, so you can. It's got a huge skylight up there. It lets a lot of light in, but you can close it if you'd like. And you also have another smoke detector up here. That is a regular 9-volt battery, so that is something you'll want to check once a month or so to make sure that the battery's still good. I'd say that's pretty much it for the Sunseeker 3050S. This is Greg with Walnut Ridge RV. Thanks for watching.